Okay, you guys, I'm a little late to the show, but better late than never has never been more appropriate than this time. I just spent the majority of my Monday watching Tiger King. Never thought I'd say that. If you haven't seen it, it's a must-watch. It's #1 on Netflix right now. The main subject of the docu-series has a mullet. He's hard to miss. But when this quarantine started, Tiger King was recommended to me by Netflix. I watched the first half of the first episode and I was like, this guy is cuckoo cuckoo and I need to stop watching it immediately. Then everyone on social media and everyone in my limited social life made me very much regret that decision. And so what did I do? I set an entire day aside to watch Tiger King. And boy, was that a day well spent. I have so many thoughts on the subject that I feel like I can't even make a video about my own thoughts because there's so many thoughts, just like there were plots, just like there were storylines, just like there were characters that I turned on halfway through. I pretty much turned on everyone except for the campaign manager. He seemed to be the only rational one. Oh, and the girl that got her arm cut off, Kelsey. Pretty much only the campaign manager and Kelsey were the two that I had their backs. Everyone else seemed like terrible people. But I already started going over my thoughts on the docuseries as I was watching it. And man, did those thoughts get dark. And so I really don't feel like darkness is what we need right now. So what I found on the internet are a bunch of Tiger King memes. So let's watch some memes. Memes make the world go round. I gotta put on my glasses and we are ready. All right, best Tiger King memes, almost as good as Netflix show itself, New York Post. I laugh way too hard over this. This is the genie that appears when you rub a 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew. He looks like the human version of Mountain Dew. What my coworkers see during a conference call 3 weeks into quarantine after I've cut my own hair. Thank you so much for this meme. Seeing Joe Exotic in prison, calling people, just that frame of him, I was like, he had blonde hair, now it's black, is so like, oh my gosh, that was just, it was a perfect meme. Joe Exotic out there looking for Joe Dirt dressed as Lisa Frank. Thank you. All I thought when I was watching Tiger King is he looks exactly like Joe Dirt in real life. How has oh my gosh, I'm sure David Spade has a lot of opinions about this. Homegirl got her arm ripped off by a tiger and Joe Exotic's first move was to throw on an EMS bomber. The drip never takes a back seat. Dude, when Kelsey's arm got mauled by a tiger, I could not believe they got that footage. That footage was gold. And also, he seemed to know what he was doing, but he didn't actually do anything. Did he do anything? I know it looked like someone was putting a tourniquet on to obviously save her arm, but he ran up and seemed to take complete control of the situation. And I even fell for the EMS jacket. I was like, wow, he must be like certified. He must be a certified EMT, if not paramedic. Then now that I'm looking at it, that is like definitely a Balmer and it looks like just for style. Where did this jacket come from? I don't know how you guys are doing, but I'm barely hanging in there, just like Joe Exotic's eyebrow ring. I could not stop staring at his eyebrow ring. It was barely hanging on by a little piece of skin and it was distracting me. How has that never been ripped out? Why is it not higher up near the bone? It almost looked like he needed it was up higher on the bone and then his skin just started to sag and it's just hanging right next to his eye. But this picture is him young and it's still just hanging right next to his eye his whole time. Maybe he just doesn't want peripheral vision. How most people see the world, how Joe Exotic sees the world. Dude, that eyebrow ring made no sense. You know what also made no sense? And I don't know if anyone else was doing this. Anytime they showed his right ear, I counted the rings. Sometimes there were 3, sometimes there were 5. I'm sure one time there were 6. I constantly was fixated on his right ear. Was anybody else? That was driving me nuts. I felt like totally OCD just because I was like, I thought he had 5 piercings. Now he has 3. Now he has 5 again. I was constantly obsessed with his piercings. And like I said, I could not stop staring at his eyebrow ring. How have you not been poked in the eye? He lives somewhere where there's tornadoes. Doesn't it blow and hit you in the eyeball? Aren't you blinded? How have you not cut a cornea? Just so many thoughts about this eyebrow ring. I'm so glad someone didn't just let that blow by because that needed to be discussed. Things you say when you definitely didn't feed your first husband to a tiger. What did she say?
We're gonna, you know, if somebody wanted to kill you, then they would put like sardine oil all over you. Something that the cat wants to eat, not something the cat wants to drool on. Because the person, you know, that's all they want to do is just drool all over it. They're just like, ooh.
I never caught that. Confession? Confession. That was a confession. How did I miss that? I totally thought she was just dismissing how weird his crazy accusation was that someone was trying to kill him. But no, instead it just kind of sounded like she explained how she murdered her husband. Why has no one discussed the sardine oil? I've seen so many things with people saying obviously Carole Baskin killed her husband, but I've never seen like that. Totally sounded like a confession. She literally was like, oh no, I would use like sardine oil. That seemed very off the top. You had that ready. You had that ready to go, Carole. I can't believe I missed that. Okay, the last scene of Garretson and Tiger King made the entire series worth watching. I swear, it had to be in his contract that he was going to get this scene. Because why? Why use it? This was definitely like an end credit scene. Like he wanted them to talk about how, like when they were talking about how many businesses he owned and how much money he had, this was the clip that he wanted them to do and they just didn't do it. So they decided to throw it in during his last interview or something. Me when I get my $1,200 check from the government. That's awesome.
I'm a savage, classy, bougie, ratchet, sassy, moody, nasty, acting stupid. What was happening? What was happening? I'm a savage.
Dude, that really hyped me up. That was a good one. Tiger King was so insane that by the time this guy pulled up in a skeleton riding shotgun, I didn't even blink, and the show didn't feel the need to explain it. Dude, that sums up the end of the series. I remember watching the scene and yeah, I didn't need any explanation for why the skeleton was in the sea because it wasn't even one of my top 10 questions of the whole series. The fact that I cared more about Joe's eyebrow ring than that skeleton, just shows you how scatterbrained I was during this whole thing. Joe Exotic. So Tiger just ripped an employee's arm off. Y'all want a discount? People the gift shop. Dude, he was like, this is gonna financially tank me. Because he went out there and goes, if you want a refund or if you want a rain check.
Ladies and gentlemen, before you hear it on the news, I'm gonna tell you myself. About an hour ago, we had an incident where one of the employees stuck their arm through the cage and a tiger tore her arm off. I can give you your money back or I can give you a rain check.
What? That meme is perfect. Tiger King will really have you pulling every single one of these faces. Oh, definitely this James Franco face at the bottom. That was me most of the movie. Definitely anything that involved Doc Antle, I believe his name is. James Franco face the whole time. Understatement of the year. I'm gonna show you some stuff. Dude, I learned way too many things. Each episode was like its own movie. I learned 7 movies worth of stuff. Oh my God. I never realized that Doc is literally Mugatu from Zoolander. He's literally him. He is him and him is he. That's why he kept giving me evil vibes. That is totally why. I love it when there's something in your head and you didn't even realize it was there until someone else vocalizes it.
Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carole Baskin. Just took a kitty cat ride around my kitty cat meow meow kitty cat lake. And I just want to thank everybody for being a supporter of the Big Cat Kitty Cat Rescue. Now, order of business, we stopped feeding live rabbits to big cats, so that's a big improvement. And also, I did not kill my husband.
Oh my God. That looks like, is that Chloe from SNL? Yes, it is. That is amazing. 12 day of quarantine.
I'm not changing the way I dress. I refuse to wear a suit. I am not cutting my hair. I've had some kinky sex. I have tried drugs. I have a judgment against me from some bitch down there in Florida. I am gay. I am broke as shit.
Dude, I don't remember him saying that he's tried drugs. Hilarious. I want more memes. I want more memes. The cops looking into the disappearance of Carole Baskin's husband. actually, though. We really did not have any leads, any evidence. Me finding out that most of the meat for the pizza shop was from the Walmart truck. Okay, I didn't know Walmart did that. That was like such a weird moment in the docuseries. What is he a doctor of? The mystical sciences. Why was that not discussed more? When he said that he was Dr. whatever, Bangirl, I have no idea what his name was. Dude, I full on thought he must be a vet. Nope. Mystical sciences. Explains the ponytail, explains the goatee, explains that his eyebrows are a different color, does not explain why he's called Lord. Actually kind of does explain why he makes them call him Lord. Okay, Don Lewis chilling in Costa Rica knowing he pulled off his own murder. That's all I was thinking, is I was like, I genuinely think that he went off to Costa Rica and started a new life. He literally was telling his friend, oh, if I pull this off, like, it'll be the greatest thing of all time. What do you think he was gonna pull off? Selling more cats? No, I think that he was gonna fake his own death and disappear. He was probably like, I hate my family, I don't like my wife, she's probably cool with me disappearing, I'm just gonna dip out, I'm gonna go to Costa Rica, chill on the beach. And I feel like this meme sums up the whole series, because this was my biggest takeaway from the whole series, is the whole Tiger King saga is so bizarre that a guy running a cult of young virgin girls calling it a complex lifestyle is just a subplot. We need a whole show just on Doc Antle himself. I was so upset that that wasn't what the story was about, which I get it. It's about the tigers, it's about the baby cubs, but how did we not dive more into this? How did we not make a whole series about him and how creepy he is and how crazy that situation is, and how are we just passing by it? I feel like we really blew past it. Like Mario selling drugs through snakes. He was selling drugs by stuffing the snakes full of drugs and then transporting them. How is that not talked about more? Oh my god. I could make a whole video on subplots that they didn't go into, and we just really focused on Joe's crazy life. All right, well, if you made it through this video, I really hope you enjoyed some of these memes. I know I did. It definitely made it feel more lighthearted after that dark ending. Actually, the whole dark docuseries. So watching these memes really made me happy, and it also makes me realize that I wasn't crazy and really focusing on his eyebrow ring, and also really concerned about Doc Antle. So I hope you guys have a good quarantine, and hey, if you're not doing anything, get your mystical science doctorate. Apparently it's a thing.